shocking revelations rock Madlanga Commission again. Andrea Johnson has become angry about the whole grilling, and she is now exposing every one member of the mafia she has worked with. She has exposed Kat Matlala, Fadiel Adams, and now what she just said about Bheki Cele, the amount of money he secretly stole, and what he did to cover his dirty secrets has been busted. This sounds unbelievable, but what she said is way more mind-blowing. Do you really want to know? Do you want to hear the names she called as part of the ANC mafia she has worked with? Then grab a cup of coffee and stay with me till the end of this video. When things like this happen and the truth is being revealed, we should not forget to thank Lieutenant Mkhwanazi, who pioneered the entire busting of all the criminals. If you like Mkhwanazi, hit the like button, comment Viva Mkhwanazi, and don't forget to subscribe for more updates. Dlamini, roll out the clips where the Madlanga commissioners grilled her until she said the truth.
To purchase resources for the PKTT. So those are the four that I have managed to pick up. I think at the ad hoc, you indicated there were 6 independent investigations. Do you recall that?
Yes.
What are the other 2 and what are they based on? If not on the supplementaries that we have at CJC 394.
So how I understand them, was the Lushaba matter, which is in court, falls under Valeria docket. Then we have the Mokwele matter under the Brooklyn 542. Then there's the Generals Khumalo and General Madondo matter, Brooklyn 543.
Okay.
And then there's the Langlaagte matter, which we had yesterday.
Yes.
And that the other matters that would have been looked at would have fallen within the inquiry. So in terms of the matters they were looking at, it was the housebreaking, it was vetting, it was housebreaking, it was appointment, it was vetting, appointment again, it was forklift. I know that I am missing one. So just give me a moment. I am missing one.
Okay, take your time.
I am missing one. And because I also asked for this breakdown, Chair and Commissioners, from the team on Friday, for me to have clarity, simply because I'm not involved directly in the investigations, how those investigations work. And the last one was the alleged manipulation of the procurement processes.
Is the manipulation of procurement processes didn't we agree that the Langlaagte one?
Yes, so what they've done in Langlaagte, from what I understood, they would perhaps be able to explain better, is Langlaagte looked at forklifts and procurement. That would be 2. And then there's the other matters that I have given you. They didn't have, it's 4 files.
Yes.
Langlaagte has forklift and contracts. And the one matter that we did give as well, that wasn't Langlaagte, yes, that makes it 6, is the matter we disclosed on Sunday evening, Chair, where we indicated it is still under consideration, but it does deal with appointments and vetting. That matter is still under investigation. That would then make those matters 6.
Okay. Please turn to file 2, page 512, a document that we've all become fairly familiar with. That is 512, file 2. That would be Mr. Adams' section 27 referral. Paragraph 5, page 514, Mr. Adams states that he suspects that some funds became taken unlawfully from the secret fund and given to Police Minister Bheki Cele. Then the next allegation is the former police minister was also involved in appointing General Khumalo as the divisional Commissioner of Crime Intelligence without an interview process and without Khumalo having worked as a senior manager in crime intelligence. So I read that to be two complaints. For my current purposes, I'm interested in the second, which really relates to how General Khumalo was appointed as the Divisional Commissioner of Crime Intelligence by the former police minister. And I'll stop there. The second complaint is, as I've just summarized it. And that particular issue, we don't have a supplementary affidavit to provide any further detail. As paragraph 5 is currently worded, how does that bring the matter within the mandate of IDEC? The fact that the former police minister appointed General Khumalo as the Divisional Commissioner of Crime Intelligence without an interview process and without General Khumalo having worked as a senior police manager in crime intelligence.
I know that commissioners will correct me if yesterday I think I did recollect touching on it and indicating that this would become one of those matters where, with regards vetting and appointment, the matter would have to, it doesn't fall within the mandate, and the matter would have to be dealt with as we discussed, commissioners, with the Mokwele matter, the standing order, and a recommendation of what must happen with that. And I said in a similar vein that that must happen then with the Langlaagte matter with regards to the forklift. I just have to say here, I don't have an official position, but what I must do responsibly in a handover is write these up before the end of this week. I'm not sure who would act in that position, but write these up, summarize my point of view as conveyed to the Commission with what I conveyed should happen, and have that matter then escalated to the acting and copied to the National Director, because that would be the only safeguard I have, commissioners, for them to then deal with the matters as we have now resolved.
Okay, but just for our purposes, what's set out in paragraph 5 does not relate to vetting. It's a slightly different issue. It's his appointment generally as the divisional head of crime intelligence. That is the complaint. And that is the one that you, as couched, you would say IDEC would not have mandate over. Correct. Staying with paragraph, with file 9.
Staying with paragraph 5. Good morning.
Good morning.
The first part of that paragraph 5, the suspicion of funds being unlawfully taken from the secret fund to former Minister Bheki Cele, it seems to me that out of this whole affidavit, this would be the one that obviously would fall within the mandate of IDEC to investigate.
Correct.
Do you accept that?
I accept that.
Okay. Was anything done about it? Was any further statements taken? Was any investigation initiated on this allegation?
Commissioner Baloy, I am not sure how far the investigation team has gone or what they would have done in relation to this matter.
But you would know if an investigation was conducted. I mean, you know about the others.
Yes.
Something was done and they've been classified into 6 legs that you can speak to.
Correct.
It's fair to say you would know if there was an investigation into this as part of the briefings that you're getting arising from this Section 27.
Correct. And I didn't receive a briefing on this.
And so until there is evidence that there was an investigation, it is fair to surmise that nothing came out of this.
I have nothing to gainsay your proposition.
Yes. Now, directing this to you, you've seen this affidavit, this Section 27. You've told us it came to you. When you realize, I mean, you familiarized yourself with this and you were satisfied, as you have told us, that there was a case to be investigated further. When you see this, do you not ask, don't you say to them, what is happening about that allegation about Minister Cele? How come I'm not hearing anything about it?
Commissioner, I know that in the Section 2813,
yes,
that would have been one of the matters as they were broken up and authorized. So I didn't ask questions about how far they were with each investigation. They presented each leg of investigation as they got to their completion. I didn't specifically ask about this, but I do know it forms part of the authorization of the investigation.
You see, it's the one allegation that I would have expected or thought it would catch your attention, because it is the most serious of the allegations, but more importantly, it is the one allegation that squarely falls within your mandate, and yet you went on, your investigators, but including you, because you were getting briefings, you signed off on a prosecution memorandum, you signed off on whatever was happening, the formal steps that needed to be taken, but the one allegation in this affidavit that falls squarely within your mandate, or would fall within your mandate if there is any merit to it, it's quite curious that it is the one that you don't get involved with, that you are unable to speak to, that you don't seem to have paid attention to, and that's quite a curiosity in the circumstances, considering that the rest of the affidavit has nothing to do with IDEC. Right? The other allegations, they have absolutely, fairly considered, have absolutely nothing to do with the mandate of IDEC, but the one that has is the one that nothing is done about. And again, it raises the question, what in fact was going on? Why this misdirection? And it cannot be oversight. You know, it can't be. There was a deliberate decision to focus on the others. Hopefully we will find out why. But this speaks to, it was too inconvenient, maybe, to look at, or it was really not the focus of the intention of this affidavit and the investigation that follows. On the extreme end, it speaks to selective investigations and prosecutions, if this was overlooked.
I hear what you are saying, Commissioner Baloy. If you grant me the opportunity.
89. Now, in relation to the paragraph 5 of Mr. Adams's affidavit, that first part, where Mr. Adams indicated that he suspected that some funds were being unlawfully taken from the secret fund and given to the police minister. Just bear with me. Let's start at page 587.
Perhaps for clarity, former minister.
Former minister, indeed, Chair.
Yes.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Chair. Former minister. Let's start at 587, at the top of 587. This is a question from Mr. Ngola. And he asks, I quote, is it part of Adams' complaint that there was apparently a motor vehicle that was procured unlawfully through the PKTT funds, which is privately used by alleged former minister Cele? Your response is not about a vehicle for the previous minister, no. He asks, is it not a part of the complaint? You say not that aspect. Which aspect then is part of the complaint? Because the paragraph 5 simply says there's a suspicion that funds are being taken from the secret fund and given to the former minister, Bheki Cele. So it would appear Mr. Ngola had an idea that funds may have been used to purchase a vehicle for former minister Cele, and you clarify that is not part of the complaints. You said not that aspect.
Because
so that would suggest that there is a complaint regarding the unlawful use of the secret funds, but for a different purpose to benefit Minister Cele.
I understood that funds were allegedly taken to benefit, the former minister. When I say not that aspect, it is not clear from Adam's statement what the funds would have been used for.
Yes.
And that was my stipulation, because I couldn't determine from what we had that a vehicle had in fact been procured for the former minister, even if the allegation that secret funds were taken and used for him and or given to him, I couldn't say with certainty or any clarity that it was about a vehicle.
So I shouldn't understand your response to ad hoc to mean not the aspect of buying a vehicle for former Minister Cele, but for another aspect or other aspects, which I don't disclose. Am I understanding you correctly?
That is correct.
Now, it is the other aspects that you did not disclose that I'm interested to hear about.
So, and that goes to the question that, or the request I made to Commissioner Baloy for me to be able to get clarity, because I go only on what he said about the secret funds, and I would just require that detail of what those aspects, if any, have been brought to date. But at that time, I didn't have details of aspects, Chair.
So, I hear your response. Considering your change status with the institution IDEC, would you be able to access documents relating to these matters as a matter of interest?
I can make a request through Mr. Maga to Mr. Sissoko, and he is very helpful. If he's able to trace them, Chair, he will most certainly do.
So okay.
In fact, I did, off the record, speak to him yesterday to indicate that we might have to work through him, given that I do not have access to the documentation or documentation that might be required. So I'll do that through Mr. Maga.
Understood. Let's move then to page 5.